Alright guys, so this is going to be a very different type of video that I'm going to be bringing you today. But what I want to show you is just a few simple, rather simple games that I played in the Waffle Panzer. And I'm going to speed through them. I already recorded them, keep in mind, because I don't want to have to click on each replay, wait for the replay to load, and I sped through them. But keep in mind that what this video is going to be mostly about is showing you guys when you need to advance and when you need to retreat, and you have to have almost a sixth sense of your own to basically GTFO out of a certain area, right? And also to advance when you need to advance. There's so many times that I get into games where I'm playing as a light tank and I see tank destroyers either push way too quickly, which is more uncommon, or I see them sitting in bushes in the corner of the map for the entire game. One example I can think of specifically was on Erlenberg, I believe the map is called. It's that winter map with the city in the middle. And I had run almost all the way around the map before my tank destroyers in the one corner of the map even moved. And I got YOLO'd by basically a Progetto and like a Sharfooter or something like that. And I died, but we ended up winning the game, right? But I want to show you guys this. I also play tank destroyers from time to time. I play the Waffle Panzer, and let's just take a look at these videos, guys, right? So I'm not sure how the volume is going to be. I'm just going to lower it. It's not really, the volume isn't really that important here. But what I want to show you is, let's just turn it up just a little bit. What I want to show you here, guys, and I might pause a little bit, this is going to be kind of like an unorganized video, right? Just keep that in mind. I'm going to speed ahead. I hope you don't get dizzy, but in order to speed the video up, I just want to show you guys this. So I'm going to pause right here, and if you're looking at the map, what do we have? We have a Pantera down here, we have a TVP, and we have this CC Mark II, like I guess that means version 2, and we're trying to push up this line. Now, I was over in this corner before where these buildings are right here. I chose to actually run away, defend the zero line, and then once I didn't see anybody on the zero line, what I'm actually going to do now is push. Because what's happening is we've taken the entire west of the map, and now we need to figure out where these guys are. Likely they aren't going to be pushing up the east side if we have more HP and more players, right? So what I actually decide to do is as Skill would say, risk it for the biscuit, and I'm going to push down the east side of this map to figure out where these guys are. I missed the CC here. I take a shot from him, but what's important to note here, guys, is that we have figured out where the CC is, and now the rest of my team has figured out where the TVP is. Likely the Pantera is going to be in the back. But the main point I want to show you guys of this video is that I pushed into the CC to show my team where he is, right? You want to try to reduce the amount of map that the enemy team has when their numbers are, when they're spread thin and when their numbers are dwindling, right? That's what you want to do. You want to start winning map. You want to take away map from the enemy team, because the more map you own, the more angles you have, and the more likely you are to win the game. So that's what I want to show you in this one. Again, these are very short clips, but I figured I would get through it as quick as I possibly can to just show you guys the key points that I want to bring you, right? So we're going to run all the way up here. We end up playing Ring Around the Rosie with the TVP, and we end up winning this game. He's running away from me. He doesn't want to get killed from me. And, we have this guy cornered, and that's another important fact of this game, right, is that we have this guy cornered, and the only way we had him cornered is by pushing and being aggressive down the east side of this map. So that's when you can advance. It's one example. Let's take a look at two examples where I retreated and it actually made us win the game, right? So the biggest example I want to bring you is on Pilsen. Actually, this one and the one on Pearl River next are almost equal in retreating and being able to win the game, right? But watch what happens here, right? See how these guys are pushing in? And I'm going to pause right here. Right here is when I decide to make the decision to go, I need to GTFO, like right now, or I'm dead. Because look, Batchat's back here, there's a T100 LT here, there's an AMX-30B, there's an Object 780, and again, I apologize for the quality, guys. But you can see like the main points I'm trying to show you, right? The 780 is going to poke. He's a good player. He's making a really good poke there. I can't do anything with it. CC is hitting me. Another Mark II, man. These things are like, apparently, I don't know, man. I got a problem with the CC Mark IIs. But anyway, I'm going to sit here, try and take a shot or two, and now I'm going to retreat even further because look what's happened on the map, guys. We have lost pretty much the entire east. We have one heavy over here. It's the 50 TP or 60, whatever. I don't know these vehicles very well, guys. It's one of those 50 TP, yeah, which is the tier 9. I'm eventually going to learn these, but I don't play heavies, right? So I'm going to actually come back all the way to this ridge line, and yes, I'm with Artie, but at this point, we've lost most of the map, and you can't be out in the open when you've lost a lot of map. There's a lot of players that, even players that might watch this video saying I'm too passive, like you should be up further. You can't do that in a vehicle that can be penned with HE, guys, and honestly, I'll bring you guys a video before this where I told you that I didn't think this thing was very fragile, but as I've played it more and more, I get lit on fire like all the time in this thing now. So you really have to be cautious when you're playing something such as the Waffle Panzer, right? So now I'm going to sit back, and again, this is going to be really fast, guys, but just keep up with it. Watch what we're able to do here. Watch how many shots. Look at my damage in the top left corner if you want, so you don't get dizzy, right? But watch how quickly we're able to bring this game back simply by just staying alive and putting ourselves in a good area. Now, something important to note, the FV 4005 was out of my render range here. What I'm able to do is ping him on the map, shoot the ping, and if you guys ping the map and you don't see those little yellow markers come up, there's a setting in the settings to change that. My dad actually didn't have his on, so I had to go and put his on when I was playing on his account when I was home a couple weeks ago for vacation, right? I call it vacation, but I went up and just saw a bunch of people because I used to live in New Jersey for a long time. So I got to see a lot of, family and friends, and it's always good to do that, right? But Texas is what I call home now. But anyway, guys, we're going to advance here, and look, 2,400 damage. I could have had one shot of damage in this game if I stayed where I was behind that building, right? We take a shot into the Object 261. It was a blind shot. And now we're going to push out and see if we can find the Leopard here. And I'm kind of poking this. I know, again, it's going to make you guys a little bit dizzy maybe, but I'm trying to figure out where this Leo is. I take 2 shots from him. I end up getting cleaned up by Artie. T110E3 almost gets cleaned up by the Leo here. He ends up dying, I think, to Artie, and then the WZ is able to come up and clean the Artie up, right, guys? So that's that one. And hopefully you're seeing why it's so important to run away, guys. We had over 3,000 damage that game simply because we knew when to run. Now, one more example I want to bring you is going to be on the map Pearl River. Now, on Pearl River, on the west side of this map, we've left it almost wide open. And immediately what I'm looking at is, look, we had one guy over here. The Artie is back here. I'm the only one over here. The only other people that are on the map that can maybe help are this Progetto, who can come up, but he's kind of in this little fight here, or maybe like Artie definitely, and maybe the Yag Tiger, if we can get close enough back to him. There's no one here to help us, so you need to look at the map, and you need to pay attention to this. There's a lot of players that don't pay attention to this, and they're just going to go into the chat and be like, shitters, you guys suck. Like, dude, you need to look at the map, man. It's not necessarily one person's fault, it's the entire team's fault. But you can't be like calling people shitters just because one side of the map is left open. Pay attention and adjust to it. You can ping the map all you want, but it's not really going to change that much. Like, you need to adjust to it yourself and stop complaining about it, right? Otherwise, you're just never going to improve as a player. You can't keep blaming your team for every little thing, guys. Now, what I'm going to do is come back to this corner, and I'm able to put a lot of shots at these guys. Look, we light the standard B on fire. It was lucky, but this is what I mean, guys. You want to give yourself as much chance as you can to win the game. So we came back, defended the base, we got 1,800 damage out of it. Now we're going to push into the AMX AC. Artie ends up cleaning me up here, and that's the game for me, but these guys are going to go up, and they're going to finish this team off, and that's the game there. So again, I know it's a very unorganized video and a little strange and a little different, but I really wanted to bring you guys this video to show you that it's not only in light tanks can you retreat and can you read the map and make adjustments. In a tank destroyer, I'd argue it's even more important because you're the support, right? You need to be putting your gun where you're going to make a difference in the game. So I hope those few examples help you guys out with that. And if it is helping you out, do sub to the channel. It helps me out. And again, guys, I mostly play light tanks. This is something quite a bit different, actually. But again, the whole point is to show you guys when to advance, when to retreat, and kind of get in the mindset of constantly looking at the minimap. I tell you guys this in a lot of videos, but I actually look at the minimap more than I look at the actual game, right? It's kind of like when I drive, half the time I'm looking in my rearview mirror and half the time I'm looking out the windshield. I'm always paying attention to what's around me. Not only do I like to have situational awareness in World of Tanks, but in real life as well. Like, I absolutely love when I'm driving to be looking at my mirrors all the time to see what's around me in case there's an emergency, like an animal jumps in front of the road or into the road or whatever, or someone swerves in front of me. You never know, guys, right? And especially it's even more important on a motorcycle. So I don't know. I just always have situational awareness wherever I am, guys. And it's very important in World of Tanks to have that, especially as a light tank, and especially, I would say, as a tank destroyer or a medium as well, right? Arty, you're just kind of sitting there, and heavies, you're brawling. So situational awareness is really only important if you're going to get flanked. But I'm telling you guys, you gotta put your gun where you're going to be able to shoot red players and make a difference. Don't just sit in the back of the map the entire game like an artillery tank, because you're not going to be that beneficial for your team. But one more thing I like to add is keep in mind that a lot of tank destroyers really only do well in battle when their team is kind of losing, or at least losing one side of the map, right? Because you're not going to get, on a lot of maps, you're not going to get easy shots in tank destroyers until that enemy team is pushing up over that ridge line they won, or, around a corner or something that they've won. Like, best example I can think of is on Mountain Pass, right? It's very corridor based, and you're not really going to get those clean shots until enemies are pushing around the corner of one of those corridors. So hope this helps you out, guys, and that's all for this one. Again, subscribe if it helps you out. Hit the notification bell. I usually post videos around 11 CST, my time, but hit the notification bell, guys, and you will see anything that I post. Catch you guys for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye now.